it also deals with education. The districts 25 and 26 have long been considered two of the best school districts in the city of New York. People move to these neighborhoods to send their kids to school in this area. So imagine my surprise when I sat in on a Community Board 7 Education Committee meeting 3 weeks ago, and I was told the Community Board that School District 25 is considered a district in need. That schools, that parents are pulling their kids out of certain schools, some of the best schools in the borough and the city, they're pulling their kids out of these schools because they are very unhappy with the direction that the Department of Education has gone on these issues. And I think it's very critical, and I've had conversations with educators, parents, even kids about what's going on. It's not just here, but it's in the whole city. So for example, what do I think should be happening? I think that the Department of Education should essentially be abolished. I was not a huge fan of the Board of Education, but at least the Board of Education gave local communities and local areas more of a say in what they needed to happen instead of a top-down decision-making process that has not benefited anybody. This is extremely disturbing, as I said, for an area that prides itself on education. These are always pushed, these neighborhoods are pushed as the best places to raise your children and grow old. It concerns me greatly as someone who's going to get married probably in the next 6 months, hopefully, and who has someone who I care about who will be going into 6th grade. It's something that I'm very concerned about. And just to let you know, we're going to keep this relatively short because it's also my parents' 50th wedding anniversary today. And so as soon as we're done with this, we have 30 people coming to the house at 4 o'clock and we have to cook. So I'm just letting, and so do they. So we have to just do that. But education's a big priority. Parks is the lifeblood of this city, more so than anybody wants to talk about. 20% of this city, 1/5 of this city, is parkland, and yet we see our parkland being abused, compromised, sold out. I've been extremely involved in Save Flushing Meadows Corona Park, a new organization that's been out there, which many people here know about. And this organization is the only one that does not want to be selling out our parkland in Flushing Meadows to big corporate entities like the USTA, Major League Soccer, and the Mets, who want to take over 50 acres of our parkland and privatize it. Okay, and that's just that park. If it can happen there, what kind of concession can come to Bound Park, for example? What could happen in Alley Park? What could happen in Crocheron Park? That's just for this district. There's a model being presented that's trying to corporatize our parks. And does anybody here know how much the city actually spends on parks of the budget? It's 1/3 of 1% of the budget for the entire city of New York, which is deplorable. It is a lack of responsibility and accountability from those people who run this government, defunding the parks to the point where there are, I believe, 17 parks people from Flushing Meadows Corona Park, and it's the largest park. I think it's the 3rd largest park in New York City. Meanwhile, Central Park has over 300. So
billionaires funding it.
Well, billionaires funding it as well. So this is a major issue. And in fact, in the 19th, we do have a big issue, which is that there are actually almost 100 acres of additional land that can be turned into parkland. Last year, the mayor stated that they created 750 acres of new parkland. Does anybody know how this happened? They took all the playgrounds, the school playgrounds, and designated them parks. So with one sleight of hand, they increased parkland to by 750 acres. This is a joke. We have 100 acres of undeveloped land in the 19th Council. Flushing Airport, the remaining parcels in Udall's Cove, which are still privately owned and can still be developed, which I know as Little Neck Pines is adjacent to that, people are very concerned about this. Okay? Sorry, that's my dog. And there's another dog walking by. Yes. So these are really important issues that we have to focus on. And it's everything is local, but everything is also citywide. It's also really important to make sure that we have an agenda that focuses on the needs of this community, as well as really things that are crossing the entire city in importance. So I think these are some of the issues that I've brought up. People, I have my good friend Peter here. I met him about a year ago. This guy, I have to tell you, he emails me or we speak probably 5 or 6 times a day. You know, that curb on 149th Street is broken. I sent in a FOIL request to the DOT. They're parking school buses in Washington in front of PS 21. What the hell is going on here? He is my eyes on the ground by default. It's amazing what he's been uncovering. So it's not just the big issues, it's everything. It's the little issues and the big issues. They all go together. I'm someone, for people who know, I'm an urban planning and historic preservation consultant. I've been doing this for 20 years, again, only from love of this community. And when we're in a situation where I think every neighborhood feels embattled by the kinds of things that are happening, we have to stand up and do something about it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Are there any questions? All right then. Thank you so much. Sure. Absolutely. Are they cute? What are we going to do about the rabbit problem?